There's kind of two areas that I think the biddable space is going to be focusing on this year. It's this kind of moment scenario, which is more suited to mobile. I want to know, I want to go, I want to see, etc. But behind that is data. And behind data, of course, is a person, it's audiences. And audiences and data, or data management, has become a real central part of paid media, which I find quite interesting, because the currency is still very much about creative or keywords. But it's about really having a true understanding about who that person is behind that sentiment, behind that search, behind that moment. And one of the key investments that we made, last year, as you all know, was in a data management platform. But I'm really quite excited to see how all channels take audience targeting and using that to really personalise how we communicate and get beyond just something simple like, blue jeans or blue jeans size X to those moments, so it feels a lot more personable and a lot more interesting, a lot more insightful about the kind of consumers who we're trying to engage with.
I've been quite intrigued by the amount of data that you'll have on a customer by virtue of using the DMP or buying in third-party data, and then flipping that across, looking at the e-commerce side, and actually e-commerce site owners trying to create personalised experiences based on the data they have on customers, but fundamentally not having any data or not having a lot of data because they haven't really seen much of that customer before. But here they are arriving at the site with probably a cookie or some other bundle of data that the site doesn't have access to. We're wondering how an e-commerce site operator might tap into that amount of data that's sitting behind that anonymous cookie and go, well, what can I change on my site layout in order to better tailor a relevance to that particular user, even though I've never actually seen them before?
I'm going to talk about mobile again, Lee, but specifically in relation to AMP, or Accelerated Mobile Pages, this framework that Google's got out there to allow people to have versions of their pages instantly cached, or not instantly cached by Google, then instantly accessible by users at the touch of a button. At the moment, it's relatively limited. I think it was designed primarily for news websites. It's been mainly adopted by news websites, but next year we'll see Google trying to push the boundaries of the framework to allow it to be relevant to more types of sites, and people adopting it more, websites adopting it more as well.
Is there a concern though that when we spoke about personalization, where we see that going, that actually if we're taking cached versions of sites, that actually we're not going to see some of that personalized content, or even worse, if people are reliant upon having personalized content, is that content going to be missing? What would be the default thing that's cached?
Well, I guess you'd always have to have a default with any personalization setup anyway, and you're right in that this is probably the opposite of personalization in a way. But the AMP version would be the unpersonalized version, and then you have to make the trade-off. Is personalization more important to me than having this super fast mobile experience for users where, because it's loading so quickly, you're kind of getting a positive impression of the brand by it loading so quickly?
My prediction for affiliate marketing for 2017 is that the emergence of the influencer model means that the consumer will start to operate like an affiliate. So a consumer within Facebook, let's say, who's got 500 followers and he's bought something online and he gets the opportunity to share what he's bought online through his social media network, to encourage his network to A, see what he's bought, see what he's interested in, and potentially buy it himself. And if they buy through that link, through that specific share, then that original sharer gets paid an affiliate commission.
Do you think that's going to erode trust in social communication?
It would be very attractive to the brand, because for the brand there's all sorts of wins. There's more reach, there's only paying on performance like you do in affiliate, there's more social media buzz. So it's a kind of no-brainer for the brand, but I think for the consumer, I think it's still a bit of it's an awkward opportunity, because I think that the idea of monetizing your friend base or trying to use your influence in terms of your retail choices to get your buddies to like what you like and ultimately buy what you like, I think it's a bit contrived. Unless you're one of these KOLs, key opinion leader, and then you're taking it away from your friend base, and it's all about what you as a KOL think about certain brands and certain products, and I think that's powerful.
This year, I'm seeing the rise of the personal assistant, and obviously everybody's seen the likes of Amazon Echo, Google Assistant, and Apple with their offering coming soon, built on top of Siri. So we're already seeing examples of where people can order something using their voice, but I think retailers will start to move that to the next level of customer service, as an example. Whether it's somebody just using their app to be able to speak to and order something from their favorite brand, or whether it's related to somebody in store being able to maybe try on a garment, and if they need assistance because they need another size of that particular garment, they can ask for it with maybe a little speaker or device in the changing room, and maybe that request sends a message to one of the store clerks who can come out and bring them the right thing that they need.
So how would that work technically?
I'm going to see that there's a lot of the APIs that are now being exposed by the players, so Siri and Apple. We're looking at Amazon and also Google Assistant. They're starting to open up their APIs, and the commerce players who are starting to move to more of this open API model, which basically means that you're able to call the e-commerce system and ask it for any information, but you're also able to send any information to these e-commerce systems. And so by extending this idea of the Internet of Things, and also these e-commerce platforms being able to send and receive pretty much any kind of information, we're going to start to see people do some very clever stuff with it.
Well, I think from the Crow and UX side of things, it's not so much the whole let's go mobile, let's optimize mobile, because hopefully we don't have to tell people to do that anymore. My hope for 2017 is that we no longer need to do that. But I also think the way we're optimizing mobile sites, also in tune with what you were talking about with the conversational UX, has really been the buzzword of 2016 in terms of UX. And I think it will grow even more in 2017, where it's basically a chatbot that you sit and you talk to. But also that we start to focus more on developing our websites for mobile first, and then from there expanding it onto desktop, because so often we have a desktop version, and then 2 weeks before launch we go, okay, well, let's just quickly resize and it will fit on the screen, and then it's now optimized for mobile, which is not the case. That doesn't mean that just because it fits doesn't mean that it's a good user experience in any way.
A mobile site's easy to use to find products though. So let's say you don't have a saved order. We're not talking about the buying process. You've come in with a general query. I need a drill, a power hammer drill or something. Are mobile sites good for actually discovering the products you want to buy? Browsing
wise, if you don't know what you are looking for, what you need, it's not a good experience. So in that sense, yeah, I think it might be. I prefer to actually browse on mobile.